Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Want to talk about the obvious scripting of tonight's record for Drew Brees surpassing Peyton Manning in all-time touchdowns. And, of course, he did this against the Indianapolis Colts, who Peyton Manning played the majority of his career for. And, of course, Drew Brees won his only Super Bowl against the Colts, which should have been a clue to everyone when it happened about how theatrical the NFL is. Of course, when Drew Brees defeated Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl, the connection in history was Archie Manning. Archie Manning, the father of Peyton and Eli, who played for the Saints, who were known as the Aints, who never won nothing until Drew Brees came to town. Little Drew Brees, and brought them their first championship. And again, if the NFL wasn't scripted theater, Tom Brady wouldn't be the face of the league. Peyton Manning wouldn't have ever been the face of the league. Drew Brees definitely wouldn't be the face of the league. You know, the other week when they actually let the opposing team play against Drew Brees, the Falcons wasted the Saints in their own house, and that's how it would look every week if the NFL was legit. The NFL's a league of giants. Drew Brees is a little man. So, let's go over him hitting this mark of 540. 540 in the year of Super Bowl 54. What's the Gematria reveal? Well, something we've been talking about all year. Drew Brees equals 54. New Orleans equals 54. We've been talking about these numbers all year with this team in the league that's run by the numbers. And tonight on Patreon, before the game was played, we theorized that Brees would probably throw 4 touchdowns, which is exactly what he did, to eclipse 540. He became the first QB to reach 540 touchdowns, 540. But the reason we thought 541 would make a bunch of sense on this record-setting night, which is what he got to, he threw 4 tonight, is because 541's the 100th prime number. And of course, this is the 100th NFL season. If you look at his box score, he had 30 attempts. That was another key number tonight. Colts equals 30. The Saints became 3-0 against the AFC by defeating the Colts. And that number 307, the word Freemason equals 307 in Jewish Gematria. Of course, American football is credited to Freemasonry. It's Freemasonry that works by this secret code of letters and numbers, which is Gematria, which comes from Kabbalah, which Masonry is based in. Again, American football is credited to the Scottish Rite Freemason Walter Camp. And by the way, Scottish equals 113, like how the Saints improved to 11-3 tonight. And with the Colts falling to 6-8, Pope Francis equals 68. Tomorrow is Pope Francis's birthday. And let's not forget what the Saints did last year on Monday Night Football on Pope Francis's birthday. Pope Francis will turn 83 years old tomorrow, December 17th. Well, it's already December 17th where he is. Pope Francis is 83 years old right now, actually. But last year, going back last year, the Saints beat the Panthers. The Panthers fell to 6-8, Pope Francis 68. And the Saints became 12-2 and 7-1 away. They were the first team to reach 12-2. Notice Pope Francis equals 122. Saints equals 82. Last year was Pope Francis's 82nd birthday. The Saints became the first team to reach 12-2 on his 82nd birthday. Again, if you're new here and you're like, well, wait a minute, didn't you say Pope Francis 68? Yes, I did. There's a big way and there's a small way. Alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. The word Pope is 52, Pope Francis 68, Pope 52. The word Catholic 71. Today happens to be Sean Payton, not to be confused with Peyton Manning, Sean Payton, the coach of the Saints. Today happens to be 353 days from his birthday, which is the 71st prime number. So you get this big Catholic salute. Again, the Saints with the super Catholic symbolism. But a year ago, very similar ritual. A year ago, Monday Night Football actually fell on Pope Francis's birthday. Last year, Drew Brees had 191 passing yards on 35 attempts. Here, let me just show you something. The official name for the Jesuits, Pope Francis is the first publicly Jesuit pope. The official name is the Society of Jesus, which equals 191. And with regards to Brees having 35 attempts last year and improving to 7-1 at home, Catholics 35, also 71. And again, all these ciphers are important. The 4 ciphers you see up here are the alphabetic order with the rules numerology, the reverse alphabetic order with the rules numerology. Think about the only Catholic president, JFK. He was the 35th president. He died at age 46. There's 46 books in the Old Testament of Catholic Bibles, as opposed to most Bibles where there's 39 books. Recent ritual with the Pope and the NFL involving 2 of these numbers, 71 and 145. The drafting of Jake Butt by the Denver Broncos after he came out of Michigan, after his coach at Michigan, Harbaugh, met with Pope Francis the day before at the Vatican. And Jake Butt was supposed to go in the first round. He fell to the 145th pick of the draft. And think about him being a tight end with the name Butt, Catholic Church, little boys. Think about it. But Jake Butt fell to the 145th pick, and then he went to the Denver Broncos. Well, let me spell it right. Denver Broncos has that 71 connection. See how that works? And then he came out of Michigan, which has that 46 connection. So again, you want to know all these ciphers to see through all the little riddles they do. Alphabetic order with the rules numerology, reverse alphabetic order with the rules numerology. What's considered the most pure is this dark blue one. Tonight, Brissett for the Colts, he picked up his 19th career loss. Number that gets dished out a lot. The week before, Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers, got his 19th win against the Saints. 19 in the Saints, peas in a pod. And again, you see this code, you see the big upsets. Just like how this weekend we saw how the Falcons had a great shot to upset the 49ers. Just like how weeks ago when the Falcons upset the Saints in New Orleans, we saw that the Falcons had a real shot to upset the Saints. But just for example, in the 49ers game, Shanahan, the coach of the 49ers, got his 25th loss. Matt Ryan got his 49th career away win, and he stayed on 50 career away losses. San Francisco 50. So, just again and again, you have this knowledge, you can see the games before, the results of the games before they're played. To go back to another riddle, last season as well on Monday Night Football, the Saints wasted the Redskins on Christopher Columbus Day, a date that has major connections with the Catholics. It was a genocide of the Redskins. The 2 native teams in baseball got eliminated the day of that Monday Night Football game, the Braves and the Indians. But that game where Drew Brees wasted the Redskins on Monday Night Football and became the all-time passing leader, it was his 266th game. It says 265 because this shot was taken before the game was played. So by the time the game concluded against the Redskins, he'd played 266 career games. And he got his 153rd win, staying on 113 losses. Jesuit order is 153. Again, Pope Francis is the first publicly Jesuit pope. Jesuit order is also 54 as well for this whole Drew Brees, New Orleans, Catholic symbolism thing. But Drew Brees in his 266th game got his 153rd win. And 266, big number with the Jesuits. Their motto in Latin sums to 266 and 122. Again, Pope Francis is the 266th pope, first publicly Jesuit pope, and his name's 122, syncing up with the Jesuit motto perfectly. So last year in Brees' 266th game, he became the all-time passing leader, and that game was 266 days after his birthday. And just to pause right there, you know how we were just talking about the Denver Broncos and the Catholic Church? I've been telling my people to watch out when Drew Lock started starting for the Broncos this year because he's on this Catholic team, and look at Drew Lock's full name. 266. Big Jesuit number. And we've seen already just in recent times the ritual with Pope Francis, Jake Butt, as we just talked about. So anyway, Drew Lock comes in the league. If you can't see the NFL scripted by some of these guys, like how does Drew Lock come in and win his first 2 games? The guy doesn't even have a good arm. Doesn't even throw a nice ball. It's just a joke. How can the Steelers have a third-string quarterback? It doesn't matter if you're a third stringer. If you're in the NFL, How can you be in the league if you can't throw the ball past the line of scrimmage? And how could this guy get off to a 3-0 start in the NFL not being able to throw the ball past the line of scrimmage? Just think about what a big joke it all is. I live in a little town now. I can go to any high school, I bet, and find a better quarterback at any of these high schools in this town than Hodges. Oh my God. Anyway, NFL's a joke. Everyone should know that. You learn this knowledge, you see just how scripted and theatrical it is, And again, for people who are brain dead, they can't see the obvious no matter how much you help them. But again, for people who aren't brain dead, that's what this information's here for. So, that game, Drew Brees, after he hit the passing mark, he had his team up 26-6, Big Jesuit salute. Pope Francis, 266th Pope, 266 days after his birthday, 266th career game. And, hold on. From that game, the day of that game, Christopher Columbus Day, to the Pope's birthday was 71 days. Again, Catholic 71. And let's see. The New Orleans Saints 39-year-old quarterback broke Peyton Manning's record of 71,940 career passing yards on Monday Night Football. And let's see. It was the Redskins' 87th season, Manifest Destiny's 87th. Think about it. It was Alex Smith's 162nd career game, who was starting that night for the Redskins. Major League Baseball's 162, baseball's 162, 162 games in a season. There was a clear riddle between the MLB and the NFL. The Astros wasted the Indians 11-3, like how the Astros won the 113th World Series. And the Dodgers beat the Braves 6-2, so both the native teams got eliminated from the playoffs the night the Redskins got wasted by the Saints. And genocide equals 62. And the score of the football game ended up being 43-19. See, they go down with 19 points to the Saints. The Saints score 43, symbolic number. Football's 43. Masonics 43. In American football, credited to the Scottish Rite Freemason, Walter Camp, who went to Yale. Yale's 43. Bulldogs is 43. Always a big number with their sports program. But 62 combined points, just like the 62 baseball game. I said last year before the NFL season began, you would see native genocide symbolism. Before the season began, we had Patriots over Rams in the Super Bowl because Patriots is 53, Los Angeles is 53. 53 is the 16th prime. You get 16 points in the Super Bowl. And remember what happened. Tom Brady got his 99th career away win in the AFC Championship at Arrowhead Stadium. The white patriot beating the native team, the genocide symbolism. And with regards to last year being the 99th season of the NFL, Arrowhead Stadium's 99. Tom Brady got his 99th away win in the AFC Championship game at Arrowhead Stadium. And the United States of America equals 99. The United States of America was named the United States of America on September 9th, 9/9. And it was New England that did it. And think about that. New England. 99. So, again, the NFL's always been a joke. The Patriot Act, the Patriots. Tom Brady's career emerges after Drew Brees is hurt by a New York Jet. Think about it. He was number 11. The World Trade Centers were like giant 11s in the 11th state, New York, on the 11th of the month. Be sure to read my book if you haven't. It's all in there, plus a whole lot more. But ritual after ritual. When you know the code, you can see just how perfectly scripted it all is. And they really love to put it in the fans' faces. Because, you don't even need the Gematria. I saw this for years. A decade before I knew this code of letters and numbers. I was just like, how don't people see this? And people just get so annoyed, don't they? I still remember Super Bowl 44. I was with my family. I was over at my uncle and aunt's house, bunch of family over there, gathering to watch the Super Bowl. And I said, don't you guys see what's going on? Archie Manning's team never won a Super Bowl, playing it against his son, Peyton. And everyone knew the Saints were going to win that game. And I still remember how it ended. It ended with Peyton Manning lofting one back into the secondary, clearly not trying to throw to his receiver, just throwing a junk ball back to the secondary. Interception puts away the game. It's like, I mean, you really think this looks like a real competition? It's like a complete joke. And, it's just like Super Bowl 50. We said Peyton Manning was going to ride off into the sunset. We called it in October. Panthers to lose to the Broncos. Peyton Manning's 18th season, number 18. The game starts with a pass from number 18 to 81 for 18 yards. I like how in this shot here that ESPN, they're sure to capture the 44, right? Just like how it was Super Bowl 44. And again, remember the Saints won Super Bowl 44. I'm up here in Washington State. Seahawks fans hate it too. Seahawks won Super Bowl 48, and they won it with 43 points. 43. And they beat the Colorado team. The game started with a safety through the back of the end zone. Supposedly that's the best team in the league. Start the game off by snapping the ball back. 2 free points to set up the 43-point finish. So you can take this knowledge. You can look at every Super Bowl. You can look at every Super Bowl and see why the score was what it was. It's the same thing year after year. So anyway. We'll leave it there, True Seeker. Be sure to sign up for the Patreon, winning day after day. And you don't want to miss out on this knowledge. Teach it every single day for $5 a month. You can't beat it. Simple Truth says the Saints improved to 4-4 against the spread. That's funny. All right, we'll leave it there, you guys. Till next time.